You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Welcome to Train Your Temple, where we discuss everything that you need to know to live a healthy life in every area of your life, congruent with the promises of God for your life. So come, join me, stay tuned. I am your host, Takesha. Hello and welcome to another episode of Train Your Temple. I'm your host, Coach TK, and here at Train Your Temple, we like to say that this is where natural health and supernatural health meet to excel, and we're going to do just that. So thank you for joining me today. If you've been watching the show, then you know we've been in a series on love. We talked about the dynamics of love and healthy expectations for love. And recently, we've been going through a little topic that I like to call purpose partners. And we've had a few couples on to talk to us about intentional marriage, intentional partnership, and what exactly is this purpose partners thing. So today we are actually going to wrap up our love series, still along the lines of the intentional marriages and purpose partners. But I have a special guest on today because we're going to wrap up our love series with my love story, because your girl is engaged. So if y'all wouldn't mind helping me welcome my fiance, Michael Glidden.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mike. As she just said, we are fiancés now. So I've seen a few shows of her, a TV show, so I'm really excited to actually be featured on it, and I feel honored. I feel it's really good to be on this show and share our story with everybody that watches her show.
Yes. So welcome to Train Your Temple, Michael.
Thank you.
All right, so what we're doing today is we are going to run through some kind of get to know us and get to know our story questions, and we have some questions that have been submitted to us, and we're just gonna talk through them and
keep the conversation flowing.
Yes. So the first question that was submitted is, how did we meet, or how did we start dating? So I'll let you go first.
So we had officially met just working at Whole Foods. And working at Whole Foods, that was when? January of 2021? Was that when you started? 22?
Yes,
January of 2021.
Because I left in January 22.
No, you left in January 23.
So
this
then
year.
I started we met because of January 22 then.
We met because in 22, that's when you started floating. Right, so we met at work, and we had just become close co-workers, just friendly, kept it professional. And we didn't really think much of it. We were just
passersby.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
I thought she was really cool. She thought I was really
just
cool.
Just a nice person, yeah.
Yeah, and like real recognize real, right? So we were both real people.
Yeah, just real people living our lives.
Yeah, and then you had left Whole Foods, and then we kind of remained in touch here and there, just seeing how things were going. And then how we started dating was, what initially kicked it off was, I remember you texted me and asked if I could give you a ride home from the airport. And I was really nervous at that, because like this is the first time I was gonna see you outside of work. Didn't think much of it, but I was like, yeah, I can totally pick you up from the airport. I remember it was a late flight, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing anything, so sure. So picked you up from the airport. There was a little bit of an issue with your bags being lost, but I tried to walk you through it. It was all right. And you got in the car, and we just drove home, and the conversation flowed the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of initially knew like there might have been a little something there.
Here.
So then we decided to go on an actual first date after that, and then.
Well, we decided it was a date at the end of the date.
No, well, you had asked if it was a date at the end of the day. I knew it was a date at the start of the date.
I didn't.
You didn't know?
I mean, I did, but I didn't.
Not the airport ride, the first date.
I know.
I initially thought that was a date, and then, well, I'm glad it confirmed at the end for you that it, that it was a date.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Because he just gave y'all the man version of the story.
She's going to be able to explain it a little bit better.
Exactly. See, she's a thinker. That's why I let him go first, because
she can clean up all the loose ends that I left out.
gonna lay the foundation, and I'm gonna fill in the details.
I hit all the key points.
He
now
hit
you
the
can
key
hit,
points.
You can
Yes.
hit all the details.
He hit the key points, and they were wonderful. Now let me give you the woman version with the details in it. Okay, because how we met, like he said, we worked together. There is really nothing to how we met. We worked together for months, and it was just like a hi-bye kind of thing, right? And like he said, it wasn't until after I left in January of 2023, here and there, we would just check in and be like, hey, what's up? Because he had gone through a recent life change. I have been in a couple of years of a life change. And so it was just one of those things
Friends checking in
good
on
people.
each other.
Yes, good people just wanting to check in on other good people is literally like how it was. So there had been like these little moments here and there when we would check in or maybe see each other in passing. Like one time I actually went to the store and he was working and we had like this little moment of something. And so there was, I feel like, something that was kind of building up unintentionally. It was just very authentic. And I happened to be in Atlanta visiting my best friend, and I did not have a ride back from the airport, and I had a late flight. All the people who I would ask, I was either with or they were like unavailable. And so, you know, when people say that something told them, right, we know that that's actually like the Holy Spirit reminding you of things. So I was trying to figure out who I would ask to pick me up from the airport in the middle of the night on a Saturday. And I felt like the Lord told me to ask Mike. But I was nervous to do it because we didn't have that kind of relationship. We never hung out outside of work. We never spoke in that way. Like there was literally nothing that was present with us besides he's a good person and I'm a good person and we check in on each other. So I asked him early in the week. That was nerve-wracking. My best friend had to pump me up to do it. And I was like, you know, I know this is random, but, you know, it's a way for us to spend an hour getting to know each other type of thing. I'll give you gas money. It was a whole thing. I had a whole spiel. And he was like, okay, sure.
Yes, we'd be more than happy to. Keep your gas money.
Keep your gas money, yes. And he was just very intentional, like, about checking up with me through the week until we got to the weekend when my flight was gonna come in. And so that Saturday, like, all the things that could go wrong surrounding airport logistics, right, kind of went wrong, except the flight was safe, praise God. So my flight got delayed multiple times. They lost my bags. And so I'm feeling a type of way because I'm like, this man who we don't have this relationship, he's doing me a solid. He's waiting for me, and there's delay after delay after thing after thing. But like we were just kind of texting back and forth, and he was totally cool about it. He was like sitting outside, people watching.
People watching at the airport. If you've never done it and you're waiting for somebody to get on a flight, you can see all kinds of people. People watching at the airport. You see all kinds of things. And I had fun.
Yes, and so
midnight at Boston Logan Airport.
Yes, so really, the experience of like that week of him being willing to come get me, of us having like intentional communication leading up to him coming to get me, about how he handled all of my delays and them losing my bag and him having to wait on me in the middle of the night.
It wasn't really waiting on you though, like, cause like I just understood that there was nothing that you could do about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't fly much, but I know flights get delayed, things happen, bags are lost, and I just knew that it was no fault on you.
Right.
So there was no way that I was gonna hold you responsible or you accountable for me having to sit there and have fun, people watching.
Yes.
You know?
And I hear you and I appreciate that. But that's not always how it is. So this
it's how it should
this
be.
how it should be. It's not always how it is though. So that actually is part of, it's like our couple's tagline at this point, because based off of our past experiences, we keep having these moments where we're like, man, this is so great that you're like this. And then we'll be like, yeah, but that's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
And so that's kind of become like our couple's tagline of this is how it should happen, how it should be. It's just not always how it is. So I just really noticed that, and I appreciated that about him, his care, his consideration, his intention. And so like he said, our ride back from the airport, it was an hour of bliss. And like conversation, we were just very fluid, very natural. And so like he said, it was like a,
maybe there's something here. Maybe.
Yeah. So I checked in with him later in the week because my bags got delivered to my house, and so I had sent him a picture of me like with the suitcase.
I can still see the picture too. I still see it.
Yes. I sent him just being funny, and honestly because I enjoyed being around him so much for just that one little experience that I was like, I gotta find a way to like talk to him again. So I sent him a picture like, hey, guess what showed up? And so then we kind of started talking about how like that was a whole adventure and we should go on another one. And so that's what led up to us going on our
first official
date, which we didn't make that an official date until we were actually out there for a few hours. And he had planned this whole thing, like we did a little hike out to the beach, hung up a hammock, and was just talking for hours. Like it was just really cool. It was very romantic, very cute, and a lot of fun and very comfortable. Yeah, very comfortable being with him. So that was March 10th. That was March 10th that we started dating. Okay, so next question that we have submitted is, what set our experience apart from previous dating and relationships? I'm gonna let you go first.
For me, it was just the immediate comfort I felt, the immediate able to be myself around this beautiful person that like really set it apart. I didn't have to be anybody that I wasn't or didn't want to be. I just could be myself and be completely honest and open with this person without feeling any kind of judgment, right? Because that's something that I knew from my recent life change, that going into the dating world again, I didn't want to be somebody I wasn't, and I didn't want somebody to accept me for being somebody I wasn't. So being able to just be myself and be accepted for being myself really kind of was the initial thing that set it apart from my previous experiences. Just the overall comfort I felt around you was initial.
I can ditto that. I do have a little bit more though. Is I've been married before, and I've gone through separations and divorce, and like having to figure out what parenting looked like, you know, between me and an ex-spouse and things like that. So there were things that I had done to prepare to date, and I can say that what was different about this experience than what I experienced in the past is that I had intentionally prepared for this.
That's for me too. So something that was different than something else was I did not prepare for this at all. When in December, January, I was in the mindset I just didn't want to date anymore. I was good. I don't want to be in a relationship. I just want to do my own thing. At the same time, something told me to just be open to possibilities, that as they come your way, to be open to them and just don't write them off if you just want to be in that mindset of not wanting to date anymore. So I was unintentionally aware of what was going on when we started. So, but like at the same time, I was open to what it could be. So even though I was in the mindset of I didn't want to be with anybody, I was open to maybe this could be a thing. So instead of you intentionally preparing, for me it was pretty much the opposite of I wasn't prepared at all, but at the same time I was guided, and mentally I was prepared. I just wasn't realizing that I was that prepared.
So mine, like you said, is flip. Is I have been through 7 years of marriage, 2 years of separation and divorce, and so I was very intentional about like learning who I was, what I liked, what I didn't like, weighing like what went well and what didn't go well in my former marriage, like what what things that I need to work on, what needed to happen for me to have healthy relationship moving forward. You know, what would I want things to look like and feel like? And so I did a lot of like sitting with the Lord, a lot of counseling, a lot of talking, a lot of building community, a lot of building identity to prepare for whoever my future partner would be. And so I intentionally went into an experience just knowing who I was and knowing what I wanted everything to look and feel like. Even if I didn't have all the complete details, I knew what the experience was supposed to be like, though. So that's different. It wasn't I fell in love with somebody. It was like God prepared me to be met with like something I expected and something I had prayed for. That's a huge difference. And then I would tag on what you said about the just being very free and comfortable. There's nothing about me that I don't let him see. Like I am completely 110% myself.
And same for me to you.
Yeah, and that is very different for me from past experiences. Yeah. Do you feel like that's it?
That
for
pretty
that
much
question?
summed everything up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next question that was,
Actually, I just thought of something.
yes,
So
lay it on the people.
the other thing that she had said was that she knew what it was supposed to feel like. I knew what I wanted it to feel like as well for whenever my next relationship came along, and my mindset behind that was the next relationship that came along, it was supposed to feel how it feels with me and you. It should be something that you're excited about. It should be something that you're putting with full attention. It should just feel natural. It should flow naturally, and you should be able to be yourself in it and not have to worry about judgment or anything from the person that you're potentially wanting to be with.
Yeah.
So I just knew how it should feel, and then actually feeling it, it was wild. Yeah.
That's another like tag word.
Wild.
Is wild. Yes. So the next question that was submitted to us is like, what are conversations that we had early and that a lot of people avoid, or they wait months and years to have these types of conversations?
I feel like conversations that we had pretty early too, it was because we started dating and we moved quickly, you know what I mean? Like we're already engaged and it's been 4 months, right?
Yes. So that's important to know, is that conversations that we had early is just conversations that have been had, period. Because the moment that we went on our first date, we have been like inseparable ever since, and everything's gone. Like it's just been boom, thing after thing after thing. It's been building. It's been so accelerated.
And that's something that I can even tag on that previous question about what has been different, is like there hasn't been any need to play any games of like, oh, like I saw this person this many times this week, I can't see her again until next week, you know what I mean? Like if I wanted to hit her up and see her, I would do that. And the same goes for you, you know what I mean? We didn't have to play the game of like hide and seek, of like trying to monitor how much time we spend around this person, because that's what people say you should do. You know. So
there's been no holding back, and respectfully so. I'm not saying that we've been out here wilding, because we haven't been, but not like we're not
suppressing our emotions.
We're not suppressing emotions. We're not trying to be like, oh well, I just talked to them yesterday, so let me not talk to them for like 2 days. We haven't done any of that. There's been no game playing. There's been no holding back. It was, if something went well, we both spoke on like, I really enjoyed this, and then we intentionally made space to have the next conversation, to go on the next date, to get to know the next piece. Like it was like, no, I want more. I want as much as I can get. So I think conversations that we had early is everything. We talked about any and everything.
Regarding
boundaries,
what we wanted our future to look like.
Vision
everything.
for we money, we talk boundaries, we talk identity, we talk vision, we talk family, we talk hard hidden things, and we talk exciting open things. Like we hit every conversation, and we still do. We probably circle back to stuff because we're reminded of details that we didn't talk about, and then it's time to talk about this again. Yeah.
And even things that like some people would be afraid to speak about with their partner. Like you just have to get past that. You just need to speak about it. You need to talk about it. You need to work through it.
I will say that a part of what makes what he just said easy is that we've set like an atmosphere with each other to feel safe, that I know I could probably tell him one of the wildest things I ever experienced in my life. And I know that when I say it to him, I'm going to be met back with like wisdom and kindness and patience. He never, ever, ever judges me or like comes with some hard critique or something. He hears what I say. He sits on it if he needs to sit on it. And then he comes back and is like, wow, well, you know, this is what I thought about that. This is how I felt about that. Or I couldn't imagine this and this about how you felt about it, or you having that experience. So I think that's very important, is that we create a safe space for each other to say anything.
And that's important too, like especially like if you don't know what to say in the moment. Like we recently had a conversation. I'm not going to get into it because this is something that's just between me and you, but it was a recent conversation that we had, and a story was said, and that I was caught off guard, and then I sat on it. But then because I sat on it and I was still thinking about it, instead of just pushing it to the side, when I was ready to ask her about it and talk about it and meet her with it, then that's when I did it. And then that's when and then I just feel like that's how it should be. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't know what to say in that moment, that's okay. But at the same time, it just shouldn't be suppressed, and it should be addressed at some point if there is any expression within yourself that you want to say something about it.
Okay, so because you said it like that, that made me think of something that we should probably say as far as conversations we had early on. So we were going on a date to the Newport Mansions, and on our drive there, we were like, what does it look like if you're upset? How should I respond to you when you're upset? How am I supposed to know when you need space or you need time or something is happening, right? Like, what does it look like? And what should I do in one of those moments? That I feel like is so important because it's helped us learn each other.
Yes.
And so how this experience that he's talking about, how it played out for us is, I knew something was on his mind, and I'm like, are you okay? And he goes, yes. I said, is there something that you want to tell me? Is there something you want to talk about?
And I said, yes.
He said, yes, but I don't have the words right now. And I said, okay, cool. So we can move on. When you have the words, we'll talk about it.
And that was, for me, because I had expressed that to her in the past. Like, if I tell you I don't want to speak about something right now because I'm not ready to, and you didn't pressure me to like, oh, it's like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
You just let it come out naturally, and then that's exactly how it came out.
Yes. Yeah, so I think conversations we had early on was just understanding how each other's minds work. What do these things look like, and then how do we navigate it with each other so that we're showing up the best way that we can with how the other person operates. I think that was also a conversation we had early, like on maybe our third date when we went to the trampoline park. Was that our third date? Third or fourth date?
I thought that was our second.
No, the breakfast thing.
The breakfast, so then the third.
Okay, so on our third date, we talked about like,
and just to give you an example of how fast like we've been moving, our third date was only
like the next
a
week.
week after that we went on our first date.
Yeah. It'd be fast out here.
and like that's okay. Yeah,
exactly.
Like it was fast. It was fast regarding what other people would see it as, but like for us, it was just how we wanted to flow and how we wanted to do it.
Yes, we do temperature checks also often. Like how are you feeling about this? What are you thinking about this? Just to gauge if we're on the same page with certain things, which we normally always are. So on our third date, we talked about like what are what are the typical ways that we express love? What are the ways we want to experience love? So we talked about our love languages. What else did we talk about that day? I think we started to bring up boundaries.
Yeah.
Then.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we just be talking about everything.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to the next question, or else we're only going to talk about this. Okay, so the next question. Ooh, I love this question. The next question that was submitted was, how did we know that we could or were each other's life partner? Like, how did we recognize it, or start feeling like, oh, this could be him, this could be her?
Yeah.
How did you know, honey?
So, it was wild because from our first date, I knew that there was something different internally within me that was sparked.
Ooh.
And it was because you didn't even think it was a date at the time. So.
No, wait, okay, let me clear this up. So y'all, let me paint the picture with you. Imagine, right, we're supposed to be sitting in a hammock the perpendicular way, because we don't know each other.
Right.
But for us to sit in it that way, we were going to fall over. So then he's asking me, like, if I'm comfortable with us going the long way, right? And I'm just like, yes. So we get situated in the hammock, and we're laying next to each other. And when I say there was no awkwardness, no weird stuff, no nothing. So here we are, we're just staring up at the sky, listening to the sounds of the beach and the waves and people passing by, and we're hanging in the trees, literally. And we're just rocking back and forth, the wind's going, and we were talking for hours. So I made a comment about how my friends are teasing me because they're like, girl, you're going on a date. Like, you're going on a date. Like, he don't want to be your friend. And I'm like, I don't know, because he's very respectful. He's very gentle. And so I knew him at work to just be a nice guy. Like, when I say he's the utmost gentleman, he really is. And that's him, period. And so I was hopeful, but I wasn't taking anything that he said or did as an indicator that this was going to be more than it actually was, because I just knew him to be this genuine, this kind, this much of a gentleman, right? Granted, obviously, I did think that the beach date and us rocking in a hammock and talking was very romantic, and I enjoyed every moment, but I didn't want to get my hopes up just in case, because, you know, people be out here wilding. Like, in the dating streets, in the trying to get to know people, you encounter so many weird things. I didn't want to get my hopes up. So I tried to not do that, but I told him my friends were teasing me like, girl, this a date. He don't want to be your friend, blah, blah, blah. And he goes.
And I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it
he
is
was
a
like,
date.
yeah, this is a date.
Your friends are right.
And he goes, if that's okay with you.
Yes, I
and
do
I was
remember
just
saying
like,
that too.
yeah, it's okay with me. This is a date. And so
that was at the end of our date.
That was at the end
That was
of
when we
the
were
date.
packing up the hammock and getting ready to go. And then I was like,
So,
yeah, this is a date.
This is a date, yes. So just to clear that up. Now you're explaining, excuse me, hold on, actually, because we're actually coming to the end of our episode. And so I'm going to wind us down because the juice from the conversation is about to be poured out. But if you have enjoyed getting to, talk with us this far and hearing from us and like about our story, then I want to welcome you to kind of stay tuned in with us. We actually started Instagram and a YouTube together, and it's called How It Should Be. And on Instagram, you can find us how_it_should_be, and we'll be having lots of things about partnership and
just how everyday life and things that get overlooked and just how it should flow, how it should be, or how we feel like it should flow.
Yes. So y'all can check out our Instagram page, and then to watch the rest of the extended episode, you can check out the extended episode on the TFL TV app. available on Apple and Roku. But for all my viewers here at Train Your Temple, I just want to thank you for joining us for this episode, and we will catch you next time. All right. So, for everyone who's watching the extended version of the episode, welcome back. We are finishing up our conversation.
It's my first time on
TV,
so I'm a rookie.
I'm a rookie. Rookie mistake. We did not cut.
Mistake. I thought we cut.
Okay. So for all of you who are joining us for our extended conversation, we just got into the question on how did we know, or like what was starting to let us know that we could potentially be each other's life partner? Like, what were you recognizing? So you were answering that question.
So just kind of what felt different on our first date was, it was just an internal feeling of like, as soon as we went on that first date and we sat on the hammock with each other, and just how naturally comfortable it felt. Mm-hmm. And then how the conversation just literally flowed for hours. Like, I remember we were just swinging there talking for hours. Didn't even feel like hours. Mm-hmm. And then I look at my watch and it was like 5:30. We got there at 1 and I was like, oh, it's already 5:30. Just how it naturally flowed and how everything just naturally felt. I knew there was something different. I knew it right away that I was in for it. I was in for it. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in for it.
Done. I had them. Okay, so for me, actually, my answer is a little more involved because, like I said, I had been intentionally preparing for whoever this man was who, was going to become my future spouse. I'm coming out of being married before, having 2 small children, and so there were a lot of things that I was considering that I needed to see and experience before I was like, yeah, this is my life partner. So God had me do a lot of work on knowing what I wanted things to feel like and look like, but I never put a box on what he could do though. So I just knew, like, when I was speaking with this person, that I wanted our conversation to be transparent, honest. I wanted us to speak to each other with wisdom and kindness. I knew that I wanted someone who was going to love my daughters as if they were his own. I had set a standard for what it was going to look and feel like. And I had asked God if I could have all those things. And God specifically told me that he was going to give me everything that I asked for if I had enough faith to have vision for it. So then I began asking the Lord to increase my vision, increase my faith, help me be open to things that I might need to be open to so that he can bless me in the way that I'm hoping to be blessed. And so God took me on a whole journey of opening me up to things. Now, why do I say that? Because something I would have never, ever considered is 2 main things, which is silly things when you think about it. But 2 things I never would have considered was not being with someone who was a man of God. I'm going to talk about that in a second. I never considered being with someone who was younger than me. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really too much consider being with somebody who's Caucasian either, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, now it's here.
It's here. Correct. And so God had opened me up to some things because I had felt also with him that it was like, ooh, it's something real different about this. But also, every time I conversed with him and every time I had an opportunity to be around him and experience him, it was hitting the things that I had prayed for to experience. So that was a ding, ding, ding. When I really started feeling like, wow, I really like this, I was like, God, okay, this guy, what's up? Can I keep him? Is he mine? Is this who you said was the one promised for me? Is it? Can it be? And so the Lord specifically started giving me like dreams about him and started telling me things like, be vulnerable with him, let him see you. And he was just telling me how like it was a go until it was a stop. So the Lord had given me encouragement to proceed and to be open to it, and to not like, don't get defensive. Don't try to hide anything. Don't try to put on a show like you got to be Superwoman. Like, just completely be yourself. Let him see you, and then you see what happens. And then God started showing me stuff about how like he was calling him and kind of who he was going to be in the kingdom of God. Like the Lord was showing me stuff about him being like a servant and man, what was the other thing? And that he was like building his identity, but also him being a man who's a builder. So the Lord started showing me stuff about like what he was doing as far as him as a believer. And I didn't know him to be a believer initially. And so that was something where I was like, I'm gonna have to see where this fall, because your girl is in ministry. And had it not been for the Lord and the things that he's done in my life, I wouldn't even be this person who you're dating right now. So that was very important to me. But when the Lord started showing me like, no, just watch, or no, let him see you, go on the experience, receive from him. Like when he started showing me stuff like that, I was just like, okay, God has given me a pass to keep going. So this might could possibly be. I already knew I liked him. I already knew that he was checking off so many things for me that I had asked, that I prayed for, that I wanted. And I knew I felt so good. I mean, peace. When I say peace, 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 nothing but peace from the moment I have been around him have I ever experienced with him. So those were indicators for me that I was like, oh, you might be it.
I want to touch back on my answer too, because it wasn't just because of that first date that I knew it was my life partner. It wasn't anything like that. But I knew in my mind that I wanted to be with somebody that I could grow with in all aspects of my life. And so far, we've grown mentally with each other. Exponentially. We've grown spiritually with each other, with ourselves, through each other, with the Lord. And we've grown emotionally with one and another. And it's just, I wanted to be with somebody that I can grow with and build a life with, instead of already having all these things in check.
Yes, I love that you said that.
Instead of already having all these things in check that you feel like you need to have this, and that, and then you can be with your life partner. Yeah. Like, we're both in a state right now where we're able to actually find our life partner, and then we're gonna check all these boxes, and we're gonna build our life with each other instead of having our own life and just bringing somebody in.
Yeah. So that actually, one of the questions that was submitted to us was for us to give our perspective on God's timing versus human timing. And so I think that what you just said is a good segue to that, because a lot of times, and not always, I really do believe there's been like this shift in the earth where people are realizing the partnership is coming into partnership, and like the covenant with another person to touch and agree with you is actually the catalyst that unlocks all these things that you're trying to get on your own. And so we were both in transition and building periods in our lives. And a lot of times people think that you need to already have built and then meet with someone, and then y'all share the things that you have built. And while that's not necessarily bad, it's also brings to question like, well, then what do you build together? If you've built your own thing, I've built my own thing, and now when we come together, we're deciding on what from this person do we give up, what from this person do we give up, what do we keep together. And that, like I said, it's not wrong, but how the Lord worked with us was he kept us in our building phase, so that when we came together, we were going to build something new, completely new together. And so we were very open-minded to the fact that we were both wanting to figure out where we wanted to live. We were both wanting to figure out the next phase of our careers. We were wanting to figure out a lot of things. We had been building and preparing for things, but not necessarily solidified in anything. And then we come together and it's like, we had just the same ideas and visions about how things should look and go. And so we were like, well, let's just do it together. And I think because of that, God has allowed us to have an acceleration in coming together, because us coming together is going to set off all the things that we want to build together. We've already been laying some foundations, but I think everything's really going to pop off once we join in
Things
marriage.
have been starting to pop off already.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. So I also want to just remind everyone watching that time is not a thing to God. It's a construct for humans. It's a construct for the earth. It's a way that he utilizes time as like markers and boundaries as a way to measure things for us. But he's infinite. He's beyond time. He doesn't need our timing, and he doesn't have to operate in our timing. And so God's timing versus human timing, humans think that things have to happen a certain way. And the word of God says that, we make our plans, but God's going to do what he wants to do. Like, he's going to do what he wants to do. And so I think maybe just keeping that in mind is, if the Lord is stamping it, then you don't need to, we need to date for 2 years and then be engaged for 6 months to plan a wedding that's going to happen in another 6 months or a year. Like, no, the way how the Lord already had prepped me to getting to him is he told me that he was going to move very quickly for me, because my partnership with who he was going to let me partner with was going to be one that unlocked a lot of things for me and for the other person, that us coming together was going to set off a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So I was already expecting that any day now, I'm about to meet this guy, and in a couple weeks we're gonna be married. Like, I already had this expectation that it was gonna look crazy to other people, and I just didn't care, because that's how confident I was in what the Lord has said to me about his timing. So I think maybe just understand God's time is not our time, and be okay with trusting the Lord more than you trust human opinion.
And the one part about that too, our pastor actually explained it to me, and
Yes.
it was very clear. And it's when you're out of alignment with God for so long, and then you're finally back into alignment with him, you feel like you've lost all this time. And what God will do is
He
very,
redeems the
very
time.
quickly and at an accelerated process, he's going to make up for all of that time that you think that you've missed out on, because in our time in this world, you know what I mean? Because we can't get our time back, but God is going to make up for all that time that you missed out on.
Yeah, and I think,
as long as you're in alignment.
correct. And I think the image that you showed me he drew was like there was a straight line.
And we're
And
all wild and all over the place.
Yes,
and then we're finally back on that straight line, but we traveled all this way.
Yes.
And all that time that we missed out on.
Right. So then once you get back into the point that you're in the line with what God has for you, you go from only traveling the straight line to God taking you from the point that you're at and jumping you ahead to where you're supposed to be. And so I do agree that was a great visual and a great explanation in regards to thinking about God redeeming your time is...
Or what you consider lost time.
Correct. You go all of this way off the path. Once you get back onto the path, God just quantum leaps you to where you're supposed to be.
That's what he takes, is leaps.
Yes, it takes leaps. So I want us, we had 2 other questions that were submitted. So I think we'll do these quickly and then we'll end the conversation. We've been having such a good time talking to y'all about our things. So we have 2 questions left that were submitted, and then we'll wrap after the 2 questions. But the next one that we had was, what were priorities for us coming into this? What were deal breakers? Like, what did we know we needed to have? And then what was this absolutely cannot be present? You can go ahead.
Well, one priority for me was just somebody that was going to accept me for me, and somebody that was going to listen to me. And because I'm somebody that likes to build somebody else up. I like like I want to be able to build up my partner. And part of that too is when my partner comes to me with things that she needs advice on or guidance through, she's going to listen to me, and not so much as like do what I say, it's not like that,
Right.
but take my advice and whatever
Or
she
that your
chooses,
words have
or that
weight.
my words have weight, and that
Correct.
what I'm speaking of is that I'm doing this because I'm caring for you. I'm not trying to lecture you. And so that was another thing for me too, is that like I want somebody that's going to accept my words of wisdom, whether they choose to listen to them or not, but as long as they realize that they have weight and they consider them, and then whatever choice you would make after that, I would fully support you. But as long as you're able to listen to what my input is and that it does carry weight, like you said, that was one priority for me, was that I was going to be met with somebody that that wants to grow and build with each other, through each other. And for you, for me, I listen to all your advice. It carries a lot of weight with me.
What were deal breakers for you? Like if you saw it or experienced it, done. She was done for.
Deal breakers like lashing out or anything. I don't think I would want to have anything
Deal with that.
to do with lashing out, especially if it was lashing out in something that had nothing to do with me. Like if you were taking anything out on me that, like, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? Like, I understand something's going wrong with this, but like, you don't have to bring that to me. You know what I mean? Like, not that you can't come to me with any of your problems, but there's a difference between coming to me and seeking advice and comfort, and then there's a difference between coming to me and taking it out on me. You know, so that would have been a deal breaker for me, but I knew that from the start that you weren't like that at all. What about for you?
Yeah, so priorities for me was the same, about the holding weight. Like, I want to be able to play my part with my partner. So they needed to let me play my part. Like, that's a priority for me, is let me be a woman to you, a man. Like, let me be your partner. If when I talk to you, it doesn't move you, if when, you know, I'm operating in our day-to-day functions, it doesn't hold any significance to you, then what are we doing here? So that was a priority for me. My girls are a priority for me because I was coming into the dating world protecting and providing for 2 young girls. And so needing to feel safe, needing to feel a purity from this person, needing to know that they knew that's what I was coming in with, that it was me and my children, and the fact that my children, you know, have a relationship with their father, and we're going to be navigating all of that. That was a priority, that someone would be welcoming and understanding to that, and that they would be willing to do that with me. A priority for me was that they absolutely were in relationship with the Lord, and they didn't need to be a preacher, teacher, pastor, apostle, prophet, none of that. I didn't need any of that. I just needed someone who was in genuine, loving relationship, like their heart was pure for the Lord. So really, it was the purity for me, and someone who was just going to be open and willing. That is the priority. And I feel like I'm someone who pays attention to like people's their patterns and the characteristics. And my friends, they laugh at me because they be like, you are so picky and you get turned off so quick. And it's true. I get turned off real quick, but it's not because of the surface level things. It's because what was attached to what you just showed me. And if I pick up on anything that might be underneath the surface attached to what you showed me, I'm gonna be like, I'm turned off. Nope, don't want it. And it's a big thing for me. So knowing that about myself and other people knowing that about me, it was a priority that I was not turned off in any way. Now, deal breakers would honestly have just been the opposite of the stuff that was a priority for me. So like, if we can't talk openly and honestly about every and anything, it's a no for me, dog.
Same. Same.
If I'm not attracted to you, it's a no for me, dog.
That's important.
It's
too.
important.
That is important.
Yes, it is. If we can't do things together, like, there's lots of people who function where, you know, the husband has this going on and the wife has that going on, and in their household they're together, cool. But I wanted someone who I was going to be doing ministry, business, life together. That was very important for me. So if we couldn't do that, if we was about to be in a long distance marriage, then that was a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, that would be one for me too.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to experience that.
If I'm married to you, I want to be with you.
Facts.
Every single day.
Yes. And if I discerned any type of abuse, manipulative behaviors, that's a deal breaker.
Yes.
Yep.
Verbal, mental.
Yeah. We're
Physical
not doing that.
for sure. Yeah, no
We're
way.
free out
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Who trying to be chained up
Yeah,
again?
nope.
Ain't nobody trying to be chained. I'm trying to be free. Okay. We talked about this already. We talked about this. Hold on. I missed the question then. Nope, we talked about that technically. And no, I want to hear your take on this. Actually, I feel like I kind of alluded to this in some of my other answers. So one of the questions that we missed was, what is it like dating as a mom with children? What's it like dating as a mom and being a single woman as a mom? And then what was it like dating a mom?
So that for me, it was something I had no experience with. I had no experience with young children, but at the same time, that's not something that I would just immediately write somebody off with. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, because if you know that you don't want children, and like if that's one of your deal breakers, that's fine. But for me, it wasn't. And so I didn't want to write her off just for that simple reason that she had kids already. And I'm glad I didn't, because it's been so far the best experience that I've ever had in my life. And so with my experience with that is I wanted to be able to come in and just play my part as just who I am and let everything just naturally form. I wasn't trying to come in and just assert my dominance as like a father figure if that's not how the children wanted to view me as.
Right.
But I would hope that would naturally form. And but like I wasn't trying to replace anybody. I wasn't trying to be somebody that I wasn't. I just wanted to come in and be myself, and then let the children grow their own bonds with me and let them look at me however they want to look at me. At the same time, I would like for them to look up to me, which I feel like they do, and that feels great. But dating a mom, that wasn't initially a turn off for me at all, and I'm glad it wasn't, because I wouldn't have met this amazing woman
and have a
fiance.
I think also something that you were really good about was you got to know me first, like that. So I guess I did kind of miss that part in talking about dating. Like as a mom, I knew that I was not introducing my children to anybody. Like I just don't play like that. They were not meeting anyone. Nobody was coming around them unless the Lord was guiding me that this person was going to be my spouse. So I was very clear about that to him. And so it was just me and him. Let's just, you and I, learn each other and experience each other, and then we shall see.
And we were able and fortunate enough to have a lot of that time right off
the bat. Jump. Yeah, we got a lot of alone time in
to learn about each other.
Learn each other and lay a foundation. We really did.
Which we did very quickly and efficiently.
Yes, I'd say so. Well, we efficient over here. So we got to know each other as people first, and then we added the element of there are children involved.
Right.
Yeah. And we also communicated like very openly, honestly, like what do we want this to look like? What do we want this to feel like? What is the kind of timing and protocols that we should follow? And at first we had set some, and then we adjusted them because everything was flowing so well. We kind of threw some of the timelines out the window and just went with what was making sense for us in the moment. And it's been such an amazing experience. Like we all have just this awesome bond between us, and we operate very well as a family unit, our little blended family. It's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, it really has been.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I remember that you said to me that really stuck with me and that I appreciated very much was that before I had met your children, I knew, and I had expressed to you, I said, like, I want you to know that I know your children are always going to come first to you. I'm going to always respect that, always understand that, and that is 100% okay with me. And what she had met me with was, I hear you and I appreciate that. At the same time, I'm also going to make our relationship a priority as well.
Yes.
And she's done an amazing job at balancing both priorities. I mean, her children to both of us always come first. That's just how it is. But at the same time, she's been very, very good in backing up what she says about also making sure that we also have our relationship instead of it always being the family unit, because there is also a relationship that has to be between the man and the woman.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Is I have over the past few years learned a lot about like healthy boundaries and communicating properly and maintaining healthy boundaries. And so something that God showed me as far as like hierarchies really of how relationships work is it's each individual and God first. And then because how marriage works, when we come in covenant with each other, we are joined as one. So then it would be one and God. And then the family in our household. And so I always knew that we needed to have a very clear understanding that we have to properly manage our relationship.
Yes.
It needs to be an example to the girls. And so it's a us first and then us. So thank you for saying I've been doing pretty good.
No, you're doing pretty good at everything.
Oh,
I just appreciate you a lot.
I appreciate you. I love it. Okay, well, that was our last question. But if y'all want to stay tuned with us as we go through the
life.
wedding process and go through life, and we're just gonna be trying to do our part to kind of just share our experience and our experiences. So if you want to stay in touch with us or connect with us, again, you can check us out on Instagram and YouTube. Instagram, _should_be, and YouTube will be the same, how it should be. You'll see our faces. But we'll have a lot that's coming out. We're getting married in just over 2 months.
Was it 70 days now? I think
70 days.
It's 70 days.
Let's go. So I want to thank you for coming on
Yeah,
this
of course.
show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, I love this.
Me
This
too.
is awesome. We should do this more.
We should do it more. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. All right, so y'all, that's another episode of Train Your Temple. Thank you for joining me, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one.